Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventure, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of a bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. But first things first, time to talk about what stood out from the pull list from last week. And to be honest, as big of a list as it was, only 3 real books kind of rocked my socks, and they were good books. First one was Thor by Jason Aaron, and as I stated last week, I'm not really as big on the Loki fandom that everybody seems to have started, with the MCU, but I really enjoyed this version of Loki. It's a much more like creepier and sinister, evil Loki, and I bought into it a little bit more than the snarky, funny kind of Loki. Not that I dislike Tom Hiddleston's Loki, but I really enjoyed the one that Jason Aaron put in this past issue of Thor. The Flash was really good, with Barry kind of still learning about his new powers from the Strength Force and how to control them and consequences that can come from having powers like that and not fully understanding them. I thought it was a really, really well-told story. And I also enjoyed Hawkman. Hawkman with his team up with the Atom was very good book, and Hawkman's been a good series so far. I know Hawkman's not really a character on anybody's A-list, but thus far it's been a good run of comics. Standing out on the negative side of things, I gotta say, Uncanny X-Men did not impress me whatsoever. It's gonna be weekly for 8 to 10 weeks, and I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a shot, but it's gonna have to pick up if I want to keep reading it. I probably wouldn't be as angry about Uncanny X-Men if it wasn't for the fact that they double-sized it, triple-sized it, and charged so much more money for it, and then part of it was just a side story. That's just a tactic I don't care for in comics, and everybody does it. I'm not picking on Uncanny X-Men or the writers on Uncanny X-Men or Marvel. Everybody does that tactic. It's something I find really annoying, and if you're gonna charge me more money for a story, 1, it better all be one story, and 2, it better blow my mind. And unfortunately, it's probably not even so much a bad story. It was just so average for the price I paid. And, that's kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But they'll be going down to a regular price rate, and we'll see if the book can pick it up. If it can't, then you won't be hearing me talk about Uncanny X-Men. But it should pick up. I'm confident, but we will see. But I'll see you when I return to the homestead with my bounty for the week. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead, Athletic Geek HQ. Another late one, as you can tell by the darkness. It was a long one, because in addition to the comic shop adventure, there was also some Black Friday shopping. But there's some Black Friday deals at the comic shop, so enough with the jibber jabber. Let's see what we picked up this week. And to start off with, we got Mr. and Mrs. X, number 5, the continuing story of the newlywed couple of Rogue and Gambit. Like Gambit and Kelly Thompson's been writing both characters very well in this miniseries. I am concerned with how Uncanny X-Men was, that maybe something is going to happen to Gambit, but we will see, and we'll go from there. But been a good miniseries so far. And speaking of Uncanny X-Men, we have number 2. Gonna have to pick it up. It's gonna have to pick it up. I'm just not gonna, some people really enjoyed this book, and hey, that's great. But for me, it's gonna have to give me a little more than what it did last week, if it's gonna be added to my pull list. But, we'll see what happens. And, rounding out Marvel, we have yet another X-Men book. It is Astonishing X-Men number 17. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. It's I actually forgot about this book with X-Men Blue and Gold kind of ending, finishing up their runs and going back to Uncanny. I kind of forgot this book existed, so we'll have to see if this book continues, and yeah. It's not a good thing if I forget that's on my pull list. And I've been a little critical. Not super critical, but I've been a little critical of this book whenever it switched the writing team. But, yeah. Let's see how it goes. From there, we will go to the world of DC with Batman number 59. This is be the beginning of a new story arc, Dark Knight Criminal, and you know, through peaks and valleys, it's been an alright series so far, and we'll see how Batman will continue. And staying in the Bat family of books, we have Nightwing number 53. We Are Nightwing. The team of Nightwings continues as Dick Grayson goes soul searching, and it says on there Dick Grayson's Dark Legacy. So apparently there's going to be more information about the change in Dick Grayson in this particular issue. So hopefully they don't really mess with that character too terribly much, but we'll see how everything plays out. From there, we go to Aquaman number 42. It is a Drowned Earth tie-in. Yeah, the Abnett will be finishing up this run on Aquaman, and in December there'll be a new writing team in place. And I don't know if I will keep reading when the new writing team comes. Not necessarily because of anything against the writers, but just because Aquaman's kind of been fat on the pull list for a while, and with some other books like Winter Soldier and stuff like that are going to be taking up room on my pull list if they're good. Might be time to finally do away with this dead weight, but we will see. Aquaman number 42. From there, I have two different Justice League books. I have Justice League Dark number 5. Their overarching event is over, so we kind of go back to a regular storytelling with Justice League Dark, and yeah, been a fun little read, nice little interaction with all the different characters, and I get some Swamp Thing in there, and I like Swamp Thing, so yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. And finally, the final book of the pull list of this bounty is Justice League number 12. It's another Drowned Earth tie-in. It's part 3 of the whole overarching story, and it says the Legion of Doom dives in, so we got Lex, Sinestro, and Joker there on the cover, so yeah, it's things are going to be heating up in the Drowned Earth storyline spanning over Aquaman and Justice League. So that is it for the pull list, but from the graphic novel side of things, my local comic shop was having a graphic novel, all trade paperbacks under $40 were $5. So I was able to pick up a classic run and a classic story of books that I have yet to read just because I haven't had time, but the hype on it has been amazing, and it's one of my favorite writers, Brian K. Vaughan. It is the entire Y the Last Man series. It is all 5 trade paperbacks going over the whole run is here, the whole story is here. It's inspiring a TV show. It's yeah. So I was able to pick this up. All these books are cover price $20. So that'd be 20, 40, yeah. So $100 worth of books that I got for $25. So that is an amazing deal, and another big stack of books to throw on this huge pile, or I should say it's not a pile, it's actually a nice little bookshelf, but more to that, more to get to eventually. Got a lot of reading to do. Need to quit my job or something so that way I can read all these comic books. But that is it for my bounty this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and like to see more, please subscribe, like this video, share it. Go like the Facebook page for more content. There's some Facebook exclusive stuff, including my collection comic of the week every Thursday and my DCCW wrap-up and my thoughts on the week of the DCCW universe. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.